A pack of pseudo-dogs in front of you is dangerous, but a knife in your bag from someone you trusted is even worse. Situations like these are quite common in the zone, and that's exactly why most stalkers prefer to travel alone. So in the second part of the Traitor series, we are going to take a look at stalkers who betrayed their best friends, sold out valuable information to rival factions, tried to rob people in cowardly ways, and much more in Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. If you haven't seen the first part about all traitors in Stalker Clear Sky, I highly recommend checking it out as well. And before we start, I have noticed a huge anomaly on this channel. Almost 90% of people watching my videos are not subscribed. So if you enjoy my content and want to see more Stalker videos, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps a small content creator like me and motivates me to keep making videos. So now I have talked enough and let's get started. During Mark I's first visit to Garbage, a SOS signal will appear on the PDA map near of the ruins of the flea market. There, the Mark I can find somebody seemingly injured calling for help. While approaching him, he and his bandit companion, who is located at the top of the market, will open fire at the Mark I, trying to kill him. And this moment exactly shows one of the bandits' methods of trying to rob innocent and unexperienced helpful stalkers. The deserted soldier was stationed at the Agroprom Research Institute. He had repaired an old car and also managed to get it running again. However, the local commander claimed the vehicle for himself, arguing that his rank entitled him to it. Shortly afterward, he abandoned the car outside the base, saying it should simply be forgotten. Later, the soldier was sent into the Agroprom underground to scout the tunnels. Most of his squad was killed by the mutants, and he deserted out of fear. He fled to the swamps, where he began planning his escape from the zone, believing that he would be executed for abandoning his unit. He eventually became the target of one of Barkeep's assassination missions, most likely ordered by his military superiors. The soldier can be found hiding inside a small hut in the middle of the Agroprom swamps. If being approached, he can provide information about the institute and the documents that Sidorovich is looking for. At the gas station near the bandit base in Dark Valley, you can find a severely wounded loner who was attacked by a bloodsucker. After saving him, he tells Mark I about people selling a Gauss rifle for only 800 rubles at a farm south of the Dark Valley and recommends that the Mark I should take a look at it. One of the stalkers stands at the entrance to the eastern building of the pig farm and calls the Mark I over.
Come over here and let's talk business.
He claims that he found a stash near Yantar containing a Gauss rifle and offers to sell its location for 800 rubles. If Mark I agrees, the stalker retreats inside the building, mocks him, and reveals that the whole thing was a scam.
Listen to me carefully, sucker. Have you heard the story of Robin Hood? Well, your money went to feed the poor. Forget about it. Try sticking your nose here again, and you'll be crawling back to your mommy.
If Mark I attempts to follow him inside, the whole group will turn hostile, causing them to open fire. This shows that even people who don't associate themselves with bandits can sometimes act exactly like them. Vasiliev was a member of Professor Sakharov's scientific expedition in Yantar. Before or during the events of Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, Sakharov sent Vasiliev alongside a stalker named Ghost, who was a former member of S.T.A.L.K.E.R.s group, to attempt to shut down the miracle machine inside Lab X-16. Vasiliev ended up losing his sanity as a result of the Psy mission and ran away, leaving Ghost to face a controller on his own.
Where the hell are you, S.T.A.L.K.E.R.s? Damn. And Doc's gone, I could really do with her help right now. When I get back from the mission, I'm gonna find the guide at the perimeter. He goes there a lot. And he may help me find Doc. And if Strelok's still alive, Doc will know for sure where to find him. Anyway, that's for later. And now I'm all alone. On this stinking underground mission. Vasiliev doesn't count, he's just a burden which I'll have to protect. Vasiliev lost it at the very last moment. And when the door opened, he ran off instead of deactivating the lower consoles. I shouldn't have relied on him. Strelok was right to mistrust those lying dogs. My only chance is to get to the door before the controller.
Despite this, he later claimed that it was Ghost who had gone insane.
We've got all the papers. We know how to deactivate the source of the emission. Proceeding to dig into the lab with Ghost. Zombies coming out of everywhere. It's all screwed up. Ghost has gone insane. He must have been affected by the emissions. I've dropped everything, trying to get out through the tunnels. I'm at the swamp, but where's the bunker? Shit! I can't make out my whereabouts. No response from Sakharov. What's going on? Zombies everywhere. I'm running out of ammo.
Vasiliev managed to escape through the underground tunnels and eventually reached the nearby swarms. However, he later met his end at the hands of numerous zombified stalkers roaming the area. Because of Vasiliev's action, Ghost died to a controller trying to escape the lab. Skull Squad is an elite duty squad under the leadership of Colonel Skull. They established a temporary base in the ruins of an abandoned farmstead in the army warehouses. Unsatisfied with General Voronin's policy of avoiding direct conflict with freedom, Skull and his men have openly disobeyed Voronin's orders not to engage freedom directly, making them deserters. Skull's group plans to storm the freedom base by blowing up the base western wall and kill Freedom's leader, Lukash. However, their attempts so far have been unsuccessful due to the base being well guarded, in particular by a sniper that killed one of Skull's men when he tried to plant explosives near of the base wall. Pavlik is a member of Freedom who is suspected by the leader Lukash of leaking valuable information to an unknown party. It is later revealed that he has been passing information to the mercenaries stationed at the western checkpoint leading to the Dead City. Despite his superiors being aware that someone within Freedom is acting as an informant, Pavlik has so far managed to conceal his activities. As a result, his connections to the mercenaries remains unknown to Freedom's leadership. Side fact: Pavlik is inspired by the historical Soviet figure Pavlik Morozov, who became famous for allegedly informing the Soviet authorities about his father, and according to the official Soviet version of the story, his father was hiding grain from the authorities during the collectivization period. He was later arrested and killed. So the character's role as an informant and traitor within Freedom in Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is likely a reference to Morozov's controversial legacy in Soviet history. Smartass was a physics student who dropped out of his final year and headed into the zone in search of easy money. He enjoys showing off his scientific knowledge and discussing abstract philosophical topics, which is one of the reasons why many stalkers dislike him. He was friends with a stalker named Baldy, and together they discovered several rare artifacts near the Brain Scorcher. One night, however, Smartass stole the loot, sold one of the artifacts to barkeep, hid the rest and pretended to know nothing about it when being questioned. As a result of this betrayal, Baldy hires the Marked One to kill Smartass and take revenge. Twig writes sketches and stories about the zone under the name of Arkady. He is a former journalist and widely respected by the Stalkers. According to Petrenko, from whom you get the quest for his assassination, Twig was a former duty member who left the faction for Freedom with valuable knowledge about the city of Pripyat. And because of that, duty placed a bounty on his head in order to prevent that information from being leaked. There is also a side fact: his biography and the pen name Arkady I reference to Arkady Strugatsky, who is one of the creators of Roadside Picnic, the novel that inspired the Stalker universe. So and that's basically it. If you know any other scumbags in Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl that I didn't mention in this video, feel free to tell us in the comments down below. Also stay tuned for the next part of the Traitors series, where we will take a look at all traitors of Stalker Call of Pripyat. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Stalker videos, and I will see you in the next one.